Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I will be showing you how to make this batch of hot process goat's milk soap. So first we are going to start off by zeroing out our scale. And then we're going to start out by measuring our first oil, which is palm kernel oil. So in this video, I'm not going to be giving you the exact measurements that I use because this is my recipe that I have ran through a soap calculator and got the exact measurements needed. So I'm going to just be showing you my process. Alright, so after you have all the palm kernel oil measured out, you are going to add that into your crock pot. And then next we have our olive oil pomace. And the same goes for that. After you have that all measured out, you're just going to add that into your crock pot. And then next is the coconut oil. And those are the three oils that I use for my recipe. So I'm just going to add that into the crock pot. You want to set your crock pot to low. And while those oils are melting, we are going to get started on our lye and our goat's milk. So first, we are just going to need to measure out the lye. And then I am grabbing my goat's milk soap out of the freezer. So I do freeze my goat's milk into ice cube trays, and then once they are frozen in the ice cube trays, I put them into food saver bags. I found that this method works better for me because the soap freezes in the smaller cubes, so when you do add the lye in with the goat's milk, it does melt it better. So we are going to start off by sprinkling a little lye onto our frozen goat's milk. So when you are handling lye, you want to make sure you have the proper eye protection, and also you want to make sure you're wearing gloves. So we are going to slowly keep adding the lye onto the goat's milk. And every time I add more lye onto the frozen goat's milk, I do stir it just to help the process out. So here you can see that the goat's milk is starting to melt. Now that all the goat's milk is melted, you are going to want to set this mixture aside for 15 minutes. Alright, so the 15 minutes has passed and you can see that all of the oils are melted. So I'm just going to give my lye and goat's milk mixture a quick little mix here. So now we are going to take the lye and goat's milk mixture and pour that into our oils. And now I'm taking my immersion blender, and you are going to mix the lye and goat's milk mixture in with the oils until this reaches a trace. This is going to take a few minutes, so just be patient. So once you have reached trace, the mixture will be the consistency very similar to pudding. And if you take your immersion blender with it off and move it back and forth, you will see a line in the soap mixture. So now we are going to cook this mixture in the crock pot. So you are going to leave your crock pot on low still. Your soap mixture is going to start off looking a little funny, as you can see here in the picture, but just trust the process. The soap will look better after it has cooked for the right amount of time. So here you can see the soap is finished. So once the soap is finished cooking, you are going to want to add your fragrances or any other additives that you do want to add to your soap. You want to make sure that this is done after cooking, or the fragrance will smell burnt in your soap. So this is my batch of honey almond chamomile soap. So I'm going to add my honey almond fragrance, and I also add in this little packet of honey chamomile tea. So next we are going to put our soap into our mold. So unlike a cold process soap, this hot process soap is a lot thicker. So you can't really pour it into the mold. So you are going to want to take a spoon and scoop that into your mold. On this batch of soap, I'm going to be putting this emboss mat on top of the soap. So this just gives it a little pretty design on the top. So this one has like little honeycombs and bees on it. After you put your soap into your mold, you are going to want to wait about 24 hours for this soap to dry before you do cut it into bars. Sometimes I do get a little impatient and I do it before the 24 hours. That is fine as long as the soap is hard enough for it to cut. Alright, and now is for my favorite time, the reveal of your bar of soap. Alright, and now it's time to cut the soap. So we purchased this soap cutter which cuts it into perfectly uniform bars. I have tried a few different soap cutters and I have found that this one works the best. So when I'm cutting my soap, I do leave 2 little sample pieces at the end. So here is that little sample piece at the end. And then the rest of the bars are cut into perfect 1-inch soap bars. So now it is time to package up our bars of soap. So these are just little cellophane heat shrink bags. So after you do heat shrink the bags, it does have a little hole on the top just to allow airflow and for the bars of soap to be able to breathe. So since this is a hot process soap, you can use your bars after that 24-hour period. However, if you do let your bars of soap sit longer, they will be harder. once you have all your bars of soap packaged up, you can put your little label right here on the front of the pack. Thanks for watching, everyone, and happy soap making.